James 1 is James the Wine Guy, a Greek beauty before us. It's Malagousia. Stay tuned. So the wine before us is by the producer Ktima Gerovassiliou. Now I have reviewed the 2010 vintage. I'll put that video right here. And so 2013 vintage right here, 13.5% ABV wine. Very simple, but I would say a very iconic label. A very well-known producer, of course. And you know, one of these beautiful, wondrous indigenous varieties. If you look at the person behind this, that's Geravissaliou. You know, he's done a lot to advance this wine grape variety. It's pretty rare. I don't know the exact number of acres, hectares, but it's relatively small. But it's a really beautiful point of difference wine. If you want to bring a wine that's completely different and it's not going to harken back to anything, it may have some similarities to other varieties, but it's not going to be, you know, you taste this wine and you're like, okay, this is not Geravissaliou, this is not Riesling, this is not Sauvignon Blanc, this is not Chardonnay, etc., etc. It is its own variety, and with that comes, I think, some beautiful characteristics with this wine. So I'm so glad that there are people like Geravissaliou who believe in this wine grape variety, because sometimes it's really a heartbreaking effort to you know, really bring out these wines, because sometimes people are just so into the familiar, so into the international varieties, that it's really hard to say, how about these indigenous varieties? So there's a belief that if there are very few acres or hectares, that's for a reason. Well, those reasons don't, you know, make sense or make play in the wine world necessarily. Sometimes the greatest number of acres, hectares devoted to a single grape variety is not necessarily reflective of you know, the inherent say virtues of that wine variety. It's all about chance. It's all about marketing. It's all about positioning. It's all about maybe a style or a history. And so with that comes just keeping an open mind when it comes to wines. So for me, I think this is an absolutely stellar wine and something that I just find exhilarating. So one thing I didn't do is show you the region. So this is coming from the Epanomi region right there. Fantastic, gorgeous characterization to this wine here. It's just really evocative. One where I'd say the scent and flavor characteristics don't necessarily match, and that's not a bad thing. That's just one of the things that comes along with smelling and tasting wine, because if it was all the same, we wouldn't, you know, all wines would be the same. We'd have one wine variety and that's it, but instead we have many. First, scent characterization, flavor profile, and the point score. So in this I'm getting notes of exotic citrus, seared heirloom apple, honeycomb, gardenia, and a hint of jazz. And next, the flavor characterization, then the point score. Notes on this wine include green citrus, Spitzerberg apple, and heirloom apple, pine nut, cardamom, and a hint of white floral characterization. This wine is a 9.3 out of my 10.0 scale. Think of this wine as 93 points out of 100 points. Please list your questions and comments down below. Also your experience with Greek white wines. I'd love to know what you think. And also subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Please share this video on your favorite social media such as Facebook or Twitter. Thank you so much for watching me today. Stay tuned for more, many more great wines to come. Salud!